Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Cache. I'm Markus.
And I'm Ray.
I kind of messed that intro up. Did it backwards.
And this is the Sports Cache.
Yeah. You want to leave that in, actually? We're still working on things.
Yeah, we're missing Q. It's all good.
Yeah, we're missing Q. We're just having a hard day. We're doing great. We appreciate the guy Boomer in the studio right now. If really you don't know, he is the real OG. Also, our insider Bears knowledge, if we ever need to
Bear down.
bear down.
Bear down.
Hold on, you gotta say it right. It's
The Bears.
The Bears.
What do you do? Bear down.
And
Bear
down.
Love to see it.
You love to see it. It's my favorite thing to see. Well, let's just get right into it anyways, because yesterday was the good old NBA Finals. Right, guys?
Oh,
Excited?
yeah.
Very.
Well, you're excited unless you're a Heat fan, right?
Great game. Great game.
Yeah, it's
Easy.
easy dubs. Nice little light work, I would say. I'm kidding, obviously.
Dude, that game,
the
they had a
Heat.
lot of, not injuries, but they had some players that did get hurt.
Yeah, they really had a lot
Gordon.
of guys go down. Gorgon Dragic,
Yep.
Bam, Gordon,
It's Goran.
Goran, whatever.
I'm just wondering.
Hey, hey, man.
And then Butler rolled his ankle or something
Yeah,
like
That
that.
was, yeah, he was running, and then I think he just planted it wrong.
Right, yeah. I think it was just his momentum carried him all the way
Yeah.
to that rolled ankle. But I've seen reports today that Miami is still deciding on both players, Bam Adebayo and Goran
Oh,
Dragic.
really?
But they're more than likely going to be ruled out, is what they said.
Dang.
For
that
those of you
is
who
a
don't
big
know,
loss.
what Goran did tear was in your foot. It's called plantar fascia. And pretty much it's what connects your heel bone to your toes. And obviously as a point guard or just a basketball player in general, you kind of need that, you know,
His
because
heel.
if I think it's his right foot, I could be wrong, obviously. Either way, you're still having to plant that foot. You're having to run, do anything with that foot.
Mhm.
It's going to be an issue. And then Bam had a sprain of some sort in his neck that
I thought it was
revealed.
shoulder.
Right, they did an MRI later though, and that's what it revealed.
Ah,
So I mean, it's going to be tough for them to. I don't want to say come back, obviously, since it's only been one game,
mm-hmm.
but to continue. That's their biggest defensive piece outside of Jimmy Butler, right there, and their biggest
Mhm.
offensive piece outside of Jimmy Butler.
Right.
So, just
Let 'em-
between the two of them.
Let him pieces missing for sure.
Was everybody watching from the beginning of the game at all?
No, I had a full ass feed paper to write, so I
don't
missed
blame
it.
you.
But
I don't blame you.
What do you mean?
Just watching from the
Oh yeah.
Okay, so first quarter, obviously we started not very hot,
Mm-mm.
but I think to just put an excuse or to put a reasoning behind that, I guess, would be the Lakers haven't played the Heat since December.
Was it December? Oh, I thought it was early January. I may be wrong.
It was like November, December were the two games that they played each other in the regular season because they didn't play at all in the bubble, correct?
Nope.
So both teams had developed in a different way, obviously. Miami was more defensive, and the Heat kind of needed to mesh together and find their offensive chemistry because they already had the defensive down.
Right. They were doubling AD a lot.
Yeah,
In the beginning.
and I think that's what it was. They were trying to figure out the game plan
Mm-hmm.
of what
Mhm.
Miami was going to do to try and shut them down because there's a point in the first quarter where there was 4 guys on LeBron.
Yeah.
And it was pretty obvious that they were going to try and make him pass the ball away, but that's not going to happen for 4 quarters. Going into the second, though, I think it was kind of very substantial for them to have that lead
They took off.
because they were down 13 with like 6 minutes left in
Mhm.
the first,
oh yeah,
and then we're up 3 going into the second quarter. And then after that, it was kind of just a wrap.
It was just
yeah. The
lead all
Lakers
the way
really
through.
pulled away in the
Mhm.
second.
And the entire team shot very nice, 38% from 3. But
Nice.
do you think not having Bam for those few quarters and the same thing with Dragic affected their play that much to make them be down by 30 in the third quarter? Or is it just the fact that the Heat were able to pull that much away?
I think not having Bam
Yeah,
kind of led them to that kind of factor because
Not
he
having
is
someone for
yeah.
AD.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You,
know
got to
you
put
need to-
someone on Anthony Davis now, and who's going to fill that role?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have guys on the bench who have length, not so much like defensive prowess. People like Myers Leonard, Kelly Olynyk, who was in the game a lot, and I think actually was guarding
Towards the
AD,
end.
even though he wasn't obviously going to do too much because it's Anthony Davis. His offensive skill matches his defensive skill, and for that, that's what makes him his superstar.
Right.
Into the game, like LeBron said, because he said he liked the game, he liked the second quarter, he liked the third quarter, but he didn't like the fourth quarter because they started to come back. And even though they still lost by almost 20 points,
20, yeah.
they still had like a slight comeback, and
They
you obviously
did.
don't want to even allow that. Don't get comfortable, and don't let guys on the other team.
I think
get
it's when
comfortable.
like Hero hit a layup or something like that, and it would brought him down to like
I think it was Hero hit a
13
layup and
or
then
something
none.
like that. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Nunn
need y'all to
was
start
starting
scoring
to
again.
hit. Yeah. Because Kendrick Nunn only played 20 minutes and he finished with 18 points.
They need to play him if they
But I think that's because they got
so used to
comfortable.
it. Yeah,
They got comfortable with the 30
like whereas the
point lead.
Lakers, like they'll start anyone. Like Dwight barely started during the season, but now he's like starting in the playoffs. So like
Right.
you gotta have that that mixture of lineups too.
And I mean, it's the same thing, I think, for the Lakers is what the Heat did last round. Like making rotations, letting Markieff start or letting JaVale start or letting Dwight start. Just this whole finals is the same thing that Miami's been doing, just resting guys, making sure, because we know what we're going to do. We're going to move on to the next round. So let's just handle our business here, let guys rest, and then handle our business next round in the finals.
Dang.
Does this game change your guys' predictions whatsoever?
No.
No, I was gonna say because
Hot start.
Yeah,
Hot start.
Yeah.
extremely. Like I don't want to have that like almost overaction Monday feeling that you get from the NFL, but I definitely think that this is gonna be a wrap.
Yo, Doc
from here on
Rivers.
out. Yeah,
Is he-
Sixers.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's
I
pretty
just not seen
interesting.
that like 30 minutes ago. I did not see that.
Because they're saying he's like they have a higher interest in him than they do in Tyronn Lue and Mike D'Antoni.
Oh yeah, they reached an agreement already.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Wow, that was pretty fast then. Because what I seen was just what I'd said.
Yeah.
As far as how Game 2 starts, especially if they don't have Dragic or
Game's this
Adebayo.
Friday, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Dang.
know, I'm gonna have to have
One rest.
I'm gonna have to
alright.
have this uploaded to like this
Tonight.
morning or tonight. It's gonna be
Dang.
great. But just going into Game 2, give your guys' thoughts. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, do you think it's gonna start slow for the Lakers again, or do you think they're gonna start even hotter?
I think they got to capitalize and start hot because really in the first quarter, the Heat kind of kept up with them, like you said, and they really pulled away in the second and the third respectively. But if you're losing like Dragic and a big piece like Adebayo, you really got to capitalize on that, especially with AD because, I mean, like you were saying, they have guys with length but not defensive prowess to really put on AD. So if I'm LeBron, I'm feeding AD.
As they should, man. It was great. Because, like, in that game one, dude, anytime they fed him, it was straight double team, and he would still work. And then if they were double teaming, there was, like, kickouts, and everyone was making their shots. I was like, not everyone, but, like, for the most part, they were making it. And I was like, yeah, this is a game we like right here.
And sorry, another thing that I wanted to point out with, like, as far as LeBron is he was kind of in his 2016 Cav ways, where if Kevin Love's down at the basket, he's going to give Kevin Love the ball. If Tristan Thompson's down there at the basket, he's going to give Kevin or Tristan Thompson the ball. And mainly what that comes off of is a screen, pick and roll, and he rolls down, and they just post up right in front of the rim and wait for the ball to come to them. That's a bar. It's even better now, though, because he has guys like AD, which is immensely better than Kevin Love, no disrespect to him. And Dwight Howard, way better than Tristan Thompson. It's just facts. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just facts. So when you have guys like that, especially Dwight, who is an alley-oop monster, you don't even have to throw the ball to them. You can more so just throw the ball up in the air by the rim. And I think that allows LeBron to have that little bit easier of his job. Just a little bit more easier, which he's already so good at it. as he is. Like, he doesn't need much more help. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like the Lakers' supporting pieces around LeBron and their bench overall, I feel like it's at least they played like they were better than the Heat in Game 1, respectively. We'll see how Game 2 really goes out.
Obligatory finals talk.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty much.
just got to get it out of the way because happened last night. It's literally the NBA championship that we didn't think we were going to get. I think everybody thought they were going to get Lakers Bucks or Clippers Bucks. I thought Lakers were going, obviously.
I had it like Lakers, Bucks, or Celtics.
And
I was not
didn't-
expecting the Heat.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Lakers Bucks. Like, it kind of surprised me once the Heat started to get up on the Bucks.
Holy
and,
crap, bro.
like, beat them. I was just like, oh, okay. Well, that's going to be the team we play. So, but yeah, obligatory finals talk, and we're going to jump right into last week's Monday Night Football. Because
A couple days ago, not last week.
Oh yeah, a couple days ago. You know, we got this college life going. It's kind of everything flows so fast,
Quick.
so fast. I have predictions here, and obviously I'm going to start with Q's, just because he's the Ravens fan. 34-28 Ravens. Which does anybody actually have the score pulled up?
I can pull it up real quick.
I just don't remember it off the top of my head.
It was 34-20.
34. Wow, you and Q were actually really close. Because Ray actually said the same score, 34-28, but said the Chiefs, in which case you were correct. Pat then said 42-38. I said 52-49 Chiefs. And we obviously were expecting a lot more of an offensive ball game.
Bro,
This is more from the Ravens side, for sure.
From the Ravens.
I have stats here, and mainly Chiefs stats, just because they're the only ones that had them.
For the most part, yeah. Shit.
Pat Mahomes had 31 for 42 passing attempts, 385 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his usual.
Goat.
Usual. No
Oh, yeah.
interceptions, obviously, against Jimmy Smith, Marcus Peters,
Right.
and Marlon Humphrey, who just got paid, mind you. 5-year,
yeah, he
$98
did,
million.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that.
That's a contract. Good for him. Good on him. But you didn't guard anybody. And because I asked Q last week in the show, or not last week, Monday in the show, what do you think is going to be like the big defense takeaway for you? And I mainly asked, are you worried about your secondary? And we all agreed, speed kills, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So when you have the defensive front that you do, why are you blitzing on every down almost?
That was the crazy thing about the game, is that Mahomes against the Ravens versus the blitz, these are his stats. 85% completion percentage, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, 156.3 passer rating. Do not blitz this man. What are you doing?
And it was still September. Like, I think it's 32-0 now in September for touchdowns and interceptions.
Ravens are 0-3 against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I see.
Since they've gotten Mahomes.
You
Just
posted
saying.
on your Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it was actually a Lamar Jackson quote saying that's their
Yeah,
kryptonite.
that the Chiefs are their kryptonite.
You talking about Lamar?
Yeah.
Oh,
Lamar said
Patty's
that
kid.
Oh, for sure.
that's such amazing timing that they're going to have a kid now. And
I know there was
Lamar's
a
about to
photo I
have a
saw on
younger
Twitter
sibling.
where the picture of the baby, it was
The
photoshopped. There was a
sonogram.
picture of Lamar.
Yeah, the internet is ruthless, and not only that, but they are quick with
Oh,
their
man.
ruthlessness. I have the receiver stats here too, which like literally I wrote down the question: why blitz when you know Mahomes can throw it 45 to 55 yards with just a flick of the wrist, and the guys that they have on the outside run a 4.3 and a 4.4 40.
Yeah, it was really a team effort all around in terms of receiving.
Mecole, yeah, he had 4 catches, 6 targets though. So I mean, it's good catch rate, 81 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek had 5 for 6, 5 catches, 6 targets. Even better, honestly, you only missed 1, 77 yards and a touchdown. Sammy had 7 for 8, which I think surprised me the most. That Sammy gets the most targets. Like he had 8 targets, where Tyreek and Mecole only had 6. Clyde Edwards.
He has so many weapons, bro. He can't
Right.
decide.
It's like I literally have 5
Yeah.
players right here, and what I have for Clyde Edwards isn't even his rushing yards. It's his receiving.
That's
Yeah.
what is it?
5
Five?
5 for 6, and then 70 yards.
Dang.
And then Kelsey had 6 for 7 and 87. That's
Kelsey had, yeah.
they're
Hey,
just a
don't
unit.
sleep on my man Eric Fisher with the touchdown.
Hey,
catch.
man, I was about to say Eric Fisher.
He actually had more fantasy points than Mark Ingram,
Oh, God.
Goodwin, and Mark Andrews.
That's so disrespectful.
Yo,
Oh my
Eric Fisher. Big fish,
goodness.
bro.
Big fish that can't block. Well, apparently he could against the Ravens.
I was gonna say, props to the offensive line for really stepping up.
Man.
The Ravens specifically the interior. The Ravens pass rush was one thing that I was really worried about going in with
Especially
Calais
with
Campbell.
the Chargers game, too. I was
Exactly.
like, you would have.
right.
And then it was even more so because one of our guards, Andrew Wiley, he actually was inactive for the game because he got stricken with a random bout of appendicitis. And so they actually put in Mike Remmers, who they signed over from the Giants. And he did an excellent job filling in because I'm pretty sure Calais was the one that was lined up on him the entire game.
Well, Calais would have been lined up on him and Mitch Schwartz. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Because
Right,
if
right,
it's
right.
a one-on-one, because Calais is the interior rusher, and they got another guy on the outside. But either way, an excellent job by the offensive line.
100%. Because you would literally see Mahomes snap the ball, and then the entire front defensive box just takes off. And you're like, oh, boy, here we go again, another 40-yard pass. And it was just consistent through the whole game, which it amazes me that the Harborough brother just didn't switch his game plan up. Like, it was consistent through the whole game that you would see them just effectively try and blitz. And it wasn't being effective.
I think that's really a mental error by the defensive staff. And I know that they really had another big one later on in the game where they had written up some sort of blitz, and there was no contained guy on the outside. So Mahomes literally just not even ran. He just trotted for the first down out there. And that's the thing with most teams, obviously, in the NFL. If you make a mental error, that team's really going to compromise on that and really make you pay for it. But the thing is, the Chiefs will make you pay for it even more.
100%. And it's because, like I said, they have 4-3, 4-4 40s on the outside. Like, and I almost think Tyreek could probably break the 4-2-2 that John Ross ran if he wanted to try.
I don't know. He's really bulked up in the offseason.
He does. He
I
gets
still
big,
think that he could do it.
But he's, like, bulked up
Yeah.
but lean as hell.
The magic number that I had for Q, and hopefully he listens to this whenever I get this uploaded. The magic number, 231. What do you guys think that is? 231.
231.
If you had to take any guess.
Ravens total offensive yards.
Wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that.
It's a part of it, not the Ravens total though.
Okay.
It's a certain player on the Ravens.
200?
231 is the magic number. It's almost like this is the lottery, except you're not winning anything. Just for the show, not anything outside of
There's
it.
one player, you say?
Okay, I might as well just tell you. Lamar Jackson had a total of 180 yards rushing and receiving, or not receiving, passing and receiving. Sorry, I can't even talk. Passing and rushing. There we go.
Yeah.
Mahomes had 411 passing and rushing. Mind you, 385 of his yards were passing. 97 of Lamar's were passing.
Sheesh.
The magic number is 411 minus 180. Mahomes' total number minus Lamar's total number.
That's tough.
That is tough.
231 yards of offense.
Pure
Full
dominance.
credit, full credit to Steve Spagnuolo for getting his defensive game plan really lined up for being able to contain Lamar.
Man.
I mean, and then we even suffered a really big injury.
Well,
I don't
think you can say contained Lamar. He had 9 carries for 83 yards.
Yeah, but he didn't even pass for 100 yards.
Right. And I hate the slander of calling him a running back because I don't believe that whatsoever.
Yeah,
especially
no,
after you
no.
win an MVP last year. I don't see how people can be so quick to hate on you.
It's really disrespectful because Lamar, like, I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm obviously going to be biased towards Mahomes, but Lamar is still an elite quarterback. Like,
100%.
there's no argument with that at all.
It's just like you said and what he said. They're 0-3 against the Chiefs, and it's their kryptonite. There's something that the Chiefs have that they just know about the Ravens and how to win, how to beat them. It's weird, And maybe it's not even that. They're just, when they play them, the Ravens, maybe like the corners are thinking too much about PIs and not trying to do stuff like that. But again, when you blitz every down, it's not helping. And I know the effects of that in Madden because Q will talk about it maybe. He blew me out one game, 81-0, I think it was, or something like that, just because I just kept blitzing every play in Madden. So, yeah. Make him feel a little bit better because of that Ravens loss. Yeah.
Hey, Ravens positive. Devin Duvernay, he looked pretty good. Receiver with the kick return touchdown.
Yeah. That was quick.
That was nice.
That was quick.
That was a fast kid. Before we jump into any of the Thursday night and score predictions for this upcoming week, we have a few things that we need to touch on. Clearly enough, the COVID right now that's affecting the league. The Titans and Vikings game is going to be
Titans Steelers.
Is it Titans Steelers? Okay, it's because they played the Vikings last week. Then that's why. Well, the Vikings are okay. They had no positive tests, so they opened up their facility. And
yeah, I think they're full go.
They're full go. So the Titans Steelers is going to be pushed back into a later date in the season. For any of you fantasy owners, or at least for my app that I'm using, they're going to go ahead and just list this as a bye week for those players. Outside of that, the Titans had, I think it was 3 players test positive and 5 personnel. So they went ahead and they're shutting down up until, I believe it's Sunday for the facility, so that way like nobody's in there. They can get people in there probably to clean and do everything with what they need to do. And the Steelers didn't have anybody.
No, they're good.
Just the Titans. Yeah. Okay. And for the statistic-wise, I want to know what personnel got it. Now, I don't need to know their names. I just mainly want to know their age. Because most people who are personnel in the NFL tend to be a little bit older.
Yeah.
And not to say that they weren't following protocol, but how did they catch it? Where did they catch it? Especially if you're bubbling yourself, that you got to make sure the teams are with the team.
Do they test? Because I know in the NBA they're more strict on it than
Right, I think the NBA does it every day almost, and I think that's probably how the NFL has to do it too. Because just by watching the baseball vlogs that Trevor Bauer does, every time he comes into the facility they test him.
Okay.
So I think it's probably the same thing as far as NFL, because I remember probably remembers when the Broncos had their training camp.
Oh yeah.
They had to go through that like sanitizer mist machine. Yeah. So they obviously have protocols in place. Another thing that I want to talk about, especially since they had a small outbreak, was, did you see the Raiders?
No.
No, what happened with the
They
Raiders?
were spotted not having masks on out.
I'm not surprised because John Gruden's a really old-fashioned type of coach, so I bet he probably doesn't really
care
enforce all the restrictions with that.
Right. But then the NFL came back and said that they might consider suspensions and taking away draft picks.
Damn.
Not just for the Raiders, but just
everyone.
Like, they're not trying to make an example of anybody yet, but they're just saying if it happens again, we're going to take extra precautionary measures to make sure this season happens, because it's bad enough that we had to do that to make sure the season already begun. So just for all of that in the first place, they're just trying to protect their brand.
Yeah, I understand that. That's kind of harsh, really, but
I think the draft picks one is way harsh. Maybe you
That's too
suspend the
harsh.
player. Suspend the player for the game.
Or fine them.
No,
they're already finding them, right?
They're already finding them. But I think suspend the player for the game works, because if they're out without their mask, then there's a higher chance for them to have it. So don't let them play that game and possibly give it to the other team. I think a suspension's fair as long as you go with that thought process. But taking away somebody's draft pick, no, that's their future, because who knows next year if this is going to even be the same season.
Yeah, not even with just the team's future. That's an actual player, a person's future, and they're not going to be picked, and then they're not going to get enough money to support their family, obviously, because undrafteds don't get as much money as, like, if you're not drafted, right? They usually sign rookie deals are usually small anyways, but it's still like that.
I mean, it's much larger than an undrafted free agent who probably just got signed to a practice squad and then moved up to the 53-man. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting just to see what the NFL does in general because they already had through the first 2 weeks like 1.2 million in fines just for people not wearing a mask. Like that's 2 weeks.
How much did Pete? Yeah, it was a lot too, huh? It was like one of the first weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the coaches.
Yeah, I think because it was Pete Carroll, Sean Payton,
I love
Sean McVay,
Andy
people like
Reid's.
that. See, yeah, I don't understand why
Everyone
coaches don't
do
wear
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, honestly.
You don't have to do anything except for just have it over your face, and it's not the same as a mask where it's covering you like that. It's you can literally talk.
They have like a little hole on the top of his brim.
So it
On
like
this thing.
the condensation.
So it doesn't like
Yeah.
fog up like the
Because
game
bad enough
one.
he has glasses too.
So-
Yeah, I mean that's really it. Especially since like all they did was push the game back to a later date, and we still don't know what that is. So, the only thing that I want to jump into next.
Thursday night?
Nope.
No?
I got one more thing I want to talk about, and it's gonna be really statistical here, people. So, I'm sorry, but it's gonna be really statistical. Last week, you did a specific start bench cut.
Yes, coach.
It was Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, and Michael Thomas. And I had time this week.
I didn't.
And boy, I had time this week. I went through, and I did this the fairest way possible. And tell me if I did it as fair as possible, okay? I took Michael Thomas's first 4 years because he's only been in the league 5. And
This
that's
is his fifth
including,
year?
this is his 5th year.
Yeah.
Julio, I took his first 4. Fair, correct.
Uh-huh.
And then for DeAndre Hopkins, since I couldn't necessarily take his first 4, I took his 3 years with Deshaun and then the 1 year before. Is that fair?
Yeah, we'll call it fair.
Because I'm not trying to push a certain way for my argument. I just had time, I went through, and I was right. That's all I will say for now. Let me get into the
You
stats.
said the first 3 years with Deshaun?
Yeah, he had 3 years with Deshaun, 17, 18, and 19, and then I
Also,
just
you
went
didn't
ahead.
do his rookie year to his 4th?
No.
Who was, like, he had multiple quarterbacks.
Yeah,
didn't
he was
Yes,
playing
That's
with-
why.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it fair as far as quarterback play because Julio Jones has had Matt Ryan his whole career. Matt Ryan was drafted in 2008. Julio
Yeah,
Jones was
true.
drafted in 2011. So I don't want to hear that slander of, oh, Michael Thomas has had Drew Brees his whole career. Julio Jones has had that chemistry with Matt Ryan his whole career. Maybe they haven't shown it as well as Drew Brees and Michael Thomas have, but I hate hearing that. It's slander, and I that's
There
what
was a,
it
speaking of
eats at my brain.
Falcons, who was the other wide receiver that was well known?
What do you
Like,
mean?
I remember Madden, he was cold too.
Roddy White?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Because you're remembering some sports stuff that actually is pretty crucial. Because Roddy White was a dog whenever he played. You know, he was able to get the same thing with Julio. His yards after catch was the big thing. But to get into the argument, Michael Thomas has had throughout his first 4 years, and this is gonna be the same 4 years for everybody. Okay. Michael Thomas through the 4 years has had a 78% catch rate, 470 catches, and he's only been targeted 602. Julio Jones had a 62.4% catch rate through those years. He had 278 catches, 444 targets. So mind you, Julio had a lower catch rate with less targets and less catches, whereas Michael Thomas had a higher catch rate with more targets and more catches. DeAndre Hopkins had 393 catches and 638 targets for a 61.5% catch rate through those 4 years. Lower than both Julio and Michael Thomas, but he had the most targets. He had 638 targets to Michael Thomas's 602. The worst catch rate that Michael Thomas had through the 4 years is 69.8%. Better than the 4 years of Julio's percentage, better than the 4 years that I took for Hopkins' percentage. Julio's worst catch rate was 56.8%. His best was 63.8. Michael Thomas's worst was 69.8. I mean, like the catch rate is 100% almost for this guy throughout his career. It's literally 22% away from being 100% for Michael Thomas. As far as DeAndre Hopkins, his worst catch rate was 51.7%, and his best was 70.6%. So, still not as good as Michael Thomas's. Michael Thomas's best was 85%. Going into receiving yards throughout those 4 years, Michael Thomas has had 5,512. The 4 years for Julio, 4,330. The 4 years for Hopkins, 5,069. 32 touchdowns for Michael Thomas, 26 for Julio, 35 for Hopkins. Finally, one stat where someone is beating Michael Thomas. And it's only by 3 touchdowns, mind you. Next, we have the average yards per target. 11.7 for Michael Thomas, 15.5 for Julio, and then 12.8 for Hopkins. Another stat where they're just barely beating him. Mind you, he's still beating them in catches and yards. Michael Thomas has only had 5 fumbles. Julio has only had 5 fumbles in those 4 years as well. And then DeAndre Hopkins had 3 fumbles through those 4 years that I took for him. Now, this is only since 2018 because the website that I used was only keeping track of these certain stats since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Thomas has only had 9 drops since 2018. 3 in 2018, 6 in 2019. Leo Jones had 13 drops since 2018. 9 in 2018. The same number that Michael Thomas has had in total. And then 4 in 2019. DeAndre Hopkins has only had 6 drops since 2018. 2 in 18, 4 in 2019. Another stat that I find pretty interesting, Michael Thomas has only had 1 interception on a play where he was targeted. On any plays where he was targeted, an interception was there. It was only 1 since 2018. Julio Jones, 8 interceptions on plays where targeted. DeAndre Hopkins, 4 interceptions on plays where targeted. Mind you, this is since 2018. Again, I just like to keep referencing that. And then the average passer rating when targeted for Michael Thomas is 122.9. The average passer rating where Julio Jones was targeted, 99. The average passer rating where DeAndre Hopkins was targeted, 110.4. He is beating Julio by 22.9 pretty much, or 23.9. He's beating DeAndre Hopkins by a full 12.5 for passer rating. And he's only been in the league 5 years, Michael Thomas. He's made 3 Pro Bowls and 2 All-Pro teams. Oh, and he won an Offensive Player of the Year, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Julio Jones has been in the league 10 seasons, including this year. He's had 7 Pro Bowls and 2 All-Pros. So Michael Thomas is already matching his All-Pro year. And he has the Offensive Player of the Year over Julio Jones. Once he is 10 years in the league, I guarantee you he has the same number of Pro Bowls, if not more. DeAndre Hopkins has been in the league 8 years, including this year. Has 4 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pros. So he has 1 more All-Pro than Michael Thomas does, and 1 more Pro Bowl than Michael Thomas does, and he's been in the league 3 years longer. Oh, and DeAndre Hopkins also doesn't have an Offensive Player of the Year either. So I just wanted to get that out there because I'm tired of the slander against my guy. Because I had time that I even put Jerry Rice's first 4 years in here. Because I don't think y'all understand this because you're not Saints fans. I get to see these stats come out on Saints pages every week pretty much, or after every season. He has better numbers in his first 4 years than Jerry Rice. The only thing that Jerry Rice beats him in is touchdowns. That's it. And he had Joe Montana. Arguably the greatest quarterback to ever play. So, tired of the Michael Thomas slander. Just wanted to get that out there. He is the best wide receiver in the league, and you need to treat him as such.
Still cutting it. No.
You're a clown. Yeah, I had to get that off my chest because I'm tired of it.
Did everyone say they're? No, you said you're starting. You're benching.
But
Michael?
you guys wanted to say that Julio is better than Michael Thomas. He's not, and the numbers prove it. The physical play proves it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Moving on, we have score predictions and just what we think is going to happen for this upcoming week of football. So we're going to start with Thursday night. We got the Broncos and
What
Jets.
time do they play?
It's probably
7
Man, who
7:20.
cares?
Man,
I mean, honestly,
God, why do they even?
It's
Like, doesn't everyone have to play on like a prime time?
yeah.
Yeah, I think like
Mhm.
Thursdays are just like it's a hit or miss, bro.
I guess you never missed, huh?
Yeah, okay, but
If we just sit down and we look at the teams, we obviously
they're
know
both 0-3, dog.
Yeah, they're
Look,
both
yeah,
trash.
They're about to go. They're about
They're
to draw.
we know, but the Broncos don't deserve to be
playing.
0-3 because
Oh man,
they've had so many injuries on their team.
They really have.
If they had all of
Sucks.
their players, it would.
I think they'd be like at least.
Well, if they had all their players that are
Who do
hurt,
they play fiercely?
hold on. If they had all their players that are hurt, and they went into this game 0-3, then we would be surprised.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But they're 0-3 with their quarterback out, their best defensive player out, and so many other defensive players out. And we still think they could beat the Jets.
Yeah, Adam Gase is a straight up clown. Like, free my man Sam Darnold already.
Free my man. Bro, did you see what he said or something? Like he said something about like not being him able to compete in the league or something like that. I was like, damn, bro. No.
Yeah, no, it's not Sam.
No.
It's okay, Sam.
It's not you. It's your coach.
Yeah, we've seen the throws that you can make, dude. Like,
Pardon my French.
man.
Adam Gase is a fucking moron. Straight up.
Pardon, Patty. Yeah, it's just a mess. The Jets, like, especially last year, the whole situation where they signed Le'Veon Bell for what they did, and then Adam Gase was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to sign
Yeah,
him."
no, he's not my guy. I don't want him.
Why are you here, Adam Gase? Why are you here? Oh yeah, that's right. You were, throwing balls with Peyton Manning, and you were able to sit there and be with Peyton Manning. Cool. Maybe you should thank him and then retire now because your career is just tarnished.
Yeah. He ruined Ryan Tannehill's, at least his start to the career, now that he's really coming back and coming into his own in Tennessee. And now he's doing literally the exact same thing with arguably a more talented quarterback, at least like pure talent-wise.
And people see way more high of a ceiling in Sam Darnold.
100%. 100%.
Just because it's not one of those games that we really need to discuss too much on, do we want to just go ahead and give score predictions?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get this. Let's get it
Yo,
out
I
of the
got
way.
it first, bro. Broncos 16-13.
Broncos 16-13. Interesting.
I got 17-10 Broncos.
16-13. Hold on. Give me a second, kids, because I got to write this down. Got the Broncos. And Pat, you said what?
17-10 Broncos.
Alrighty. I like your scores because generally they include like missed PATs almost. Like it's just hilarious.
I'm thinking
to
like,
think.
okay, what are the Jets going to get? Probably a field goal.
It took him a second. He said, all right.
Yeah.
And then
You're right.
maybe a garbage time touchdown. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll give it to him.
I think that's what they're praying for too.
Oh, yeah.
Just so that way it looks like they were in the game. But maybe this is one of those weeks where we just get a Sam Darnold surprise performance, and he's like, "Screw Adam Gase. I'm
I
just gonna
hope.
go out here and
I
throw
hope.
350 and 3 touchdowns. Like I don't care anymore."
Honestly, I would love to see it. I really would. I know that his favorite receiver, the slot receiver for New York, Jamison Crowder, I think he's finally playing now. So maybe that'll have an effect. But
I'm going to go ahead and say 21-17 Broncos, just because they have Melvin Gordon, and I think that if they establish the run pretty early, it's going to be a wrap from there. Because I'm pretty sure Peyton Lindsey is still dealing with his toe. But
Big toe?
I think he has turf toe,
ooh,
Yeah.
which, yeah, I've had before, and it's not the best.
Turf toe.
Yeah, not the best.
it's not
Yeah.
fun.
It's kind of like when you hyperextend your toe. Is what it pretty much is.
Ouch.
Moving on to the next game, because we've had enough with the Broncos Jets already, and it hasn't even started. We have the Ravens versus Washington.
Are we doing all's prediction for
We're gonna do all games.
all games prediction?
And we're pretty much just gonna discuss about what if they have injuries and stuff like that.
You said
anything that
who? Ravens.
Ravens
Washington?
and Washington.
Ravens in Washington.
Oh, we're just doing score, right?
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well, we're talking about how they'll win. How do you think they're gonna win? How they've been?
Ravens blowout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's-
Too.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get back on track.
I'm pretty sure the Washington pass rush is high, top 10 in the league.
Isn't Chase Young out?
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure he's out with a groin injury,
They
and
still
I know
have-
they still have other guys.
Other guys, yeah, but
Yeah, right.
but yes, Chase Young.
Lamar's
Right.
probably really angry, and
Yeah, I'm
he's
gonna
probably
say
gonna take that out.
34-17
I'm gonna go 33-14 Ravens.
Ravens as well for me. What did I say? 34-17.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Y'all gotta not say it so fast. I gotta write it down. What'd you say again, Pat? I'm sorry.
33-14 Ravens.
33-14. There we go. All right.
Next game, coach.
Son.
Oh, you. Yeah, you gotta make your
Yeah.
prediction.
OU, Oklahoma. Just had to throw that shout out.
They got the wall brand Patrick Mahomes there.
You calling Spencer Rattler the great value Pat Mahomes?
Pretty much.
I'm
Oh
dead.
my god.
I'm
I'm
dead.
just kidding. He looks like he can see.
He does though. He really
Yeah.
does.
All right. All right, buddy. If I had to give my score, which I obviously do, I'll say 35-10.
Slingers.
Yeah. And I've obviously got the Ravens because I don't see Dwayne Haskins doing
Yeah,
all
Dwayne
that.
Haskins has not instilled confidence.
I'm not
in
even gonna ask,
anyone.
but
Who's their backup?
It's Kyle Allen.
Oh yeah, you did say
Yeah.
that. Start him, dog.
so since the Steelers Titans game is gonna be pushed back to later in the season, do you still want to do scores or no?
Nah.
I didn't write.
We'll
any
bring it
scores
back.
down.
Okay, that's fine. I was curious.
We'll be back for that, coach.
Chargers Bucks then is the next on our plate.
Ooh.
I think this is
And-
gonna be a good game
Yeah, that's what I'm
because
saying.
they both have two. It's the battle of two top 10 defenses right now. So.
And I think what pulls them out is Tom Brady, obviously. Rookie mistakes are hurt
oh yeah,
Herbert.
100%.
way too much, I think.
24-21 Bucks.
Whoa.
Yes, coach.
So do you have Justin Herbert playing as well as Tom Brady, or do you think
Yeah.
it's okay. I was going to say, or do you think it's Eckler?
Justin Herbert, he's cold, bro.
Honestly though,
He is
he has been
cold.
playing good.
He is cold, bro. You can't. I mean,
I mean, he brought the reigning Super Bowl champs to overtime,
Mhm.
and then who'd they play?
Y'all had no offense, though, other than Mahomes
We won the game.
running.
we won the game.
I know,
We
but
won the game.
literally, why did you win the game? Because Mahomes can scramble for 30 yards
Dubs
won
a
the
dub.
game.
and not get touched.
Dub stuff.
We won the
You
game.
can say all you want, but there's facts behind that.
We won.
We
the
won the
game.
Actual factuals.
Dub.
We won the game. We won the game. Yeah. Patty
Y'all
boy.
saying?
I'm gonna say 24-17 Bucks.
24-17. Wow. I think you guys are slandering Tom Brady a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and say.
I mean, Chris Godwin's out.
Yeah.
You still got Mike Evans. You still have.
Mike Evans with the trip dub last game. 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, man. He still got
God.
O.J. Howard. He still got Gronk. He still got the little.
Scotty Miller.
What was
There
the
you go.
score
Little
last
white
week
guy.
when they
Little
played
white
the
guy, yeah.
Broncos? Right, it was like 28 to what?
Baby Edelman.
Baby Edelman.
Edelman Light.
Edelman Light. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to say 28-14 Bucks.
Wow.
I think it's just, Tom Brady,
Yeah.
Next week, I want to go ahead and start with the first prediction because I don't think there's really too much to talk about. I have 42-27 to 21. Seahawks versus Dolphins. And I still got Seahawks.
Oh,
I still got Seahawks.
okay.
Yeah.
Seahawks and Dolphins?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be carnage.
Yeah.
It's going to be carnage for Russ for sure. The Dolphins are still going to put up points. I don't care.
Yeah.
I think
'cause
this is gonna
the
be one of
Seattle
those-
defense is atrocious right now. Like
Garbage.
the
100%.
secondary. And
The
my thing
passing
is,
yards.
no matter how bad they are, you got to count on. Look, I love Fitzmagic, but the man's gonna make mistakes. He's gonna throw picks every now and then, and so Russ is probably gonna capitalize on that.
What
And
was
I-
the score you said? My bad.
42-21.
Okay.
I have the Seahawks doubling up on the Dolphins pretty much. Right. So what I was going to say was I think this is going to be one of those games that the Dolphins start getting blown out so bad that we actually get to see like the first presence of Tua.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I really would,
I'd love to see Tua get in there.
because he can really test them a little bit against a really bad secondary. Yeah.
That's true too.
And I think it begins to show what he can do. Like
I mean,
you
yeah.
actually get to see him against another NFL team instead of just seeing him against your guys as like scrimmages and stuff like that.
You think it'll affect the coaching staff in terms of who's the starting quarterback the next game?
Depending on how well he plays, yes. I
Because
think
my thing
that-
is, you pick this guy in the first round anyway. Like
You
for,
might
for a
as
reason.
well.
Like
especially
really.
since last week, whenever who did the Dolphins play?
The Jags.
Yeah, there we
Jags,
go.
yeah.
You got to see Fitzmagic scrambling, and that's a bigger part of Tua's game than it is for Fitzpatrick's game.
They went off on the Jags too.
Yeah, they really did.
That's
It's
why.
magic. 3 touchdowns.
But I'm gonna say
That's why I still have him scoring 21.
I'll say 38-17.
And you obviously got the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that score. I'm gonna say. Here, I'll let you write it down. Then I'll get mine.
You're good.
Okay, 35-17 Seattle.
One less field goal. That's not bad. Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks. Sorry. It was just stuck in my head. I had to get it out. HAWKS. There we go. Next game that we have on the table. Vikings and Texans. So the Texans are
0-3.
They're both
0-3.
0-3.
They're both
Yeah.
on 3.
they just made their big signing though,
On who?
Earl Thomas.
Oh yeah.
So I think not only does that bring a different energy just by signing him, he himself is going to bring a different energy to that locker room and to that team in general. I think he's going to definitely need to step into like a big leadership role, him and JJ Watt.
They didn't even cancel, or they didn't even sign on Thomas. They canceled his workout.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm 100%. I'm reading it right
Did
now.
they?
Jesus Christ.
So he's not in the
Texans coach Bill O'Brien opens up about canceled workout with safety Earl Thomas.
Never mind that then. You guys seriously just ruined your opportunities to bring your defense in and make it more electric and
Wow.
alive.
team? Wait, so they rejected him?
They just canceled
They
the
canceled
workout.
the
Canceled the workout. That's tough.
I always thought he was going to go to Philly. City
Yeah, I could see that. I really could.
of, city of brotherly love.
It's kind of ironic because he punched his teammate.
That's no. I was more so meaning the thing with his brother.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
oh. We don't need to talk about that.
That's why I said city of brotherly love.
Whoa.
It's a long con. Vikings Texans though, I think that especially since the Texans didn't sign him, I was gonna originally pick the Texans. That I think the Vikings win this game now.
I still, Vikings.
I think this is one of those games where Kirk shows up and does his "you like that" performance.
You know what I say? Yeah, Vikings 24-10.
I actually really like that.
Yeah, 24-10.
Disrespecting my man Deshaun. Oh my goodness.
It's disrespectful, yes, but they're 0-3.
Okay, but you got to understand they had the most difficult start in terms of schedule in the league
Who
because
did
they played
first? Us.
reigning champs, the Ravens,
The Ravens.
perennial powerhouse, and then arguably the best defense in the AFC and the Steelers.
Mm.
So
A lot of
I
people
don't
want to say
think-
Patriots over that,
Ooh.
over Steelers.
I was gonna say Patriots are in contention for that too,
Because I
but
think you were the one that I seen that shared the Max Kellerman. He was
What'd he
talking
say?
about how he has the Patriots making the Super Bowl
Oh yeah.
just because of Cam and their defense, which I mean it makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
To keep it still on the game though, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what Ray said for the scoreline, but I think it's more so gonna be a 28-21 game. Like I think it's gonna be a little bit closer than.
Closer than anything. Oh, you know what? Let me change mine then. 14.
Is that a joke?
No, 14 for
All right,
for
I'll
the
change it.
Texans.
I'll change it.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Do
said
one.
for the Texans?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Just their score just
Okay,
changed.
okay.
I'm not changing, you know.
Because Dalvin Cook, I don't know.
Dalvin Cook. Yeah.
I don't know. That man's about to have a game.
Ooh, yeah. Dalvin Cook's a really good X factor in that game. I believe in Deshaun. Even as a Chiefs fan, I know what that man can do. And the Vikings secondary is atrocious. They're bottom 3 in pass yards allowed, or I guess top 3 in terms of that ranking. For that reason, I'm going to go 28-21 Texans.
Okay. 28. So it's literally, we have the same score line.
Just different teams.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I was like, sounds familiar.
I think I just heard that for some reason. Deja vu. We love it. I already wrote my score down because I Saints versus Lions.
Saints losing.
You're lucky there's a table between us.
Yo.
I have 42-17 Saints.
Yeah, the Lions are bottom 5 in run defense. I think it's going to be the Alvin Kamara show. And I know Michael Thomas is set to return.
Is he?
I'm praying.
I think so.
They
I
have him
saw
in
it somewhere.
They have him in practice. I think he's limited right now in practice, but they're trying to get him to full.
What was the injury again?
High ankle sprain.
Ah.
I think it'll be competitive because I feel like Matthew Stafford and that Lions receiving core is kind of slept on. But yeah, I gotta go.
Ooh.
I go with the Saints winning.
But I think this is one of those games where not just our defense, but our secondary has to wake up and realize, like, hey, no more pass interference. Like, seriously, that's what lost us the game against the Raiders. And we're 2 weeks away from that now. We need to wake up as a defense and not allow any more penalties as far as offsides, like against the Packers, which, to DeMario's credit, Aaron Rodgers does have a good cadence, but we can't afford those kind of penalties. And same thing on offense. We just need to wake up on our line and not have so many holding calls. Like, we just can't have 89, 90 yards in penalties against the Packers and then 129 the week before against the Raiders. Like that, you have like 200 yards in 2 weeks on penalties. It's embarrassing as an organization and as a fan of the organization.
yeah, I feel like if you guys just stick with Alvin Kamara with his running and receiving, I'm gonna say 34-23 Saints.
Ooh. I was up there too. I like that. I had it like 35-20.
Is that what you want me? Okay. I'll write that down then.
I was like, that's pretty close as well. I was thinking 35.
Because I still think, obviously, it's Matt Stafford with the arm strength that he has. He's going to be able to lace the ball out there. But, like, because we're obviously not going to hold him to 0 completed passes. No one ever does that. But if we hold them to 17 points, I'm not going to be mad at all. I just don't want them scoring more than 28. If they score almost 30 points on us, then our defense is the problem.
Who did they beat? The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Sheesh. By a field goal, right?
I don't know how much. I know Murray had a lot of mistakes and he threw 3 picks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next game, I actually think this is really going to be an interesting one because the Browns versus the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
The Browns have the 8th best rush defense in the league. And last week, when Zeke played against the Seahawks, he still got his 22 carries. Actually, no, I think he got 14 carries. And he was held by the Seahawks, who really aren't that high in the league as far as rushing defense.
Yeah, no, Seattle's defense is really suspect. It's bad.
So I'm almost curious to see what happens when he goes against this top 10 defense for rushing. Like, is it going to be worse than last week? Or is he going to have that chip on his shoulder from last week and carry it in and go off? You know?
Yeah, I really much less see Dallas running the ball a lot. I think they should just stick with the pass. I mean, you got 3 very talented receivers, and the Browns secondary is beat up. Because Dallas right now, in total offense, they're first.
Yeah, and that's Dak. Through
100%.
and through.
Dak and his weapons, pretty much. The Browns, on the opposite side, I could really see them taking advantage of the Cowboys secondary, which is also very bad.
Right.
But the whole thing with Baker being so inconsistent. Would you say the Cowboys' rush defense was ranked?
8th. And they're ranked totally 9th in defense. And then the Cowboys' defense is ranked 26th. So Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. If I'm the Browns for the game plan, I'm handing the ball off to those two.
Because it's Stefanski, right?
Yeah, Stefanski. He loves to run the ball.
And I was going to say that is you are the person who described to me exactly what his offensive game plan is and what moves that he made as soon as he got to the team, because I didn't even realize that.
It's straight up 12 personnel, probably upwards of 70% of the time. 2 tight ends, fullback, run the ball. Occasionally on third down, we'll have a play action, have Baker chuck it deep, see what happens.
Who is their fullback?
Andy Janovich.
That's right.
That was literally the first move he made when he was hired. He traded for the Denver fullback. And then, of course, they already had 1 tight end in David Njoku, and so he's like, okay, well, I need 2 for my offense, so I'm going to sign Austin Hooper. So really, on paper, the Browns' offense is pretty good in terms of scheme fits and what they want to do.
Like, they actually have a real game plan.
Mm-hmm.
As far as strategy and for the whole season. I'm going to go ahead and throw my score prediction out there first. I'm going to say 35-21. And I got the Browns. I think their rushing attack is going to start the first half pretty strong for them. Mm-hmm. And then coming into the second half, the Cowboys are going to try and focus on it too much, and they're going to buy it on play actions. And if they don't have on those play action plays, if they can't get to Baker, it's just going to be a wide open receiver down the field, and that's what's going to carry them more in the second half.
What'd you say your prediction was?
35-21 Browns. Which is almost it really does feel weird to almost pick the Browns.
The Browns. They went off last game,
but
they played
that.
Washington, right? Yeah, they did.
Sure. I'll hear.
34-20.
Mm-hmm.
That was the score last week with the Browns.
I just wanted to confirm Philip Lindsay is out.
I'd say, yeah. I feel like that'd be a good game.
Are we still on Browns Cowboys?
Yes.
Okay. I know I just talked a lot about the Browns and how their whole offensive scheme is really well put together in terms of how they built their team. But I'm looking at the Browns secondary. They're missing both starting outside corners in Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams. And just looking at the receivers that Dak has to work with, in CeeDee Lamb, obviously Amari Cooper, and then what's the other one's name that went off? Michael Gallup. Yeah, Michael Gallup. I think they're really going to capitalize on that.
Hey, they went head-to-head with the Seahawks last week. It was close.
And that was another bad secondary.
Right. And the pass front for the Browns, as far as Myles Garrett and Marcus Lawrence, are on the same page, I think, as talent-wise. But can you remind me who else is on that front?
Here's the depth chart. They have Myles Garrett on the left side. The entire right side depth chart,
Out.
IR, questionable, hurt. Olivier Vernon, Adrian Claiborne, Curtis Weaver, George Obina, never heard of him, all hurt.
Well, if they're questionable, they're more than likely going to play just because they're going to need them. But it's the same way with the Eagles' wide receiver depth chart. They have one player. one wide receiver on the depth chart. Unreal.
I'm taking the Cowboys in this one, 35-23.
Ooh, I like that. I think I'm going to go with Cowboys as well. I'll do 34-24.
I like our scores. They're all really similar. Just to be correct, you said 34-24.
Win by 10.
Next week it's really reliant on if he plays, because it's Bengals versus Jags. And who I mean by he is Joe Burrow. It's really reliant because if he does play, and in which case, just by looking, it looks like he is going to play.
Oh, he's good now?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's definitely good for the Bengals.
Right.
It looks like it just took him out of the game, but a couple of the articles that are here are just saying that the Bengals want Joe to be a lot smarter about taking hits. Because if you...
So ridiculous.
You can say that because of our offensive line, but at the same time, when I was rewatching the hit that he took, he should have just gone down. Because what he did was he tried to throw the ball regardless.
Yeah, but he's a rookie. He's going to do that. He's going to try
Right.
to make a play to prove himself to his team, and
Right.
his teammates.
But if you just go down instead of taking that hit, you're in the game for the rest of the game.
You're going to get that out of a veteran, obviously. Like, I've seen Russell Wilson do that, and I've seen, like, clips of Peyton Manning doing that, going down when there's a free rusher and they're going to have to take a hit. But, again, I mean, man's a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. And just that statement, I don't like that statement at all. Because when I say Bobby Hart is a turnstile, whatever you want to call it, turnstile, he is literally a human turnstile. He is atrocious in every aspect of blocking. As a former offensive lineman, I am disgraced to watch Bobby Hart play.
I'm going to go ahead and throw my score prediction out there. I got the Bengals winning.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's still going to be
Competitive.
for sure. 31-28. Just because I think the lack of defense causes the uprising.
I was going to say the
offense.
Jags defense is not the same. They've given up 30 points back-to-back now, and they're second to last in sacks. Saxonville is no more.
Yeah, it's been dissolved for a few years now.
I'm going to say 27. I'm going to say 27-20 Bengals.
Because they just like to bang holes. I mean,
Hey, I'm going to agree with Pat there. I had 27-20 as well, Bengals. Great pick.
because I think obviously we all rely on the fact of Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow, and he's going to play great because just from the few weeks that we've seen of him, that's what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
They also have Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard in the backfield.
Exactly. You really can
Like, mind
run
you,
the ball now.
we really talked highly of James Robinson last week
Mm-hmm.
because he deserves it, but Joe Mixon is proven already. Same thing with Gio Bernard.
Yep.
They're both proven. And if they're going against a defense that I'm actually really curious to look at what the Jaguars are ranked defensively. Not like passing or rushing, just overall. Overall, they're ranked 16th defensively, and the Bengals are 24th.
Middle of the pack, and then bottom of the pack for the Bengals.
That's interesting. It really is. I still got the Bengals though. I don't see any change in my score. Moving on to the next game, I think this is probably going to be one of the best games of the week, if not the best. I have Colts versus Bears.
That is going to be a good game.
Because
Oh, yeah.
the Colts defense, yeah, I know they played the Jets last week, but they're riding high. Riding high 100%. You got to see Xavier Rhodes actually, have roads closed again. But just seeing what the Bears offense can do with Nick Foles for a whole game rather than just for a half. Do you see them keeping their undefeated streak going?
I do, honestly. If Nick Foles stays consistent, I think 100%. Because right now, the Colts' wins have all come against currently winless teams. And that Colts defense, I'm not saying that it's bad in any aspect. I think it's actually very good. Like, I think it'll still be ranked at least top 10 by the end of the season. But right now, yeah, I don't know. I still got the Bears. Like,
I'm going to go ahead and say my prediction of Philip Rivers winning the game. 28-21 Colts. I just
I could see them doing that if they really run the ball a lot and control clock. Because the thing is, Philip Rivers, his arm isn't the same as it once was, at least in terms of when it was in San Diego. But I don't
he's
know.
still him. He's still him. And even with the lack of arm strength for Philip Rivers, I still 100% know he has the IQ. And I think that's something that they would have discussed, him and his receivers, him and his running backs, him and his tight ends, whoever he has to throw the ball to pretty much, over even the small offseason pretty much that they had together. Just saying, like, hey, you're going to have to come back to the ball. Like, I can throw this. I can lace it as hard as I can. But in some instances, you might have to come back to the ball. And I think there's too much dog in Philip Rivers that
is
people
true.
don't
He's a competitive SOB.
Yeah, the people don't take that into effect. Like, he didn't choose the Colts so that way he could go and end his career there. He went there because he wants to win. Like, people don't give the Colts enough credit, I don't think.
They really are a slept-on team. I think the entirety of the AFC South is kind of slept on as a whole.
Well, just think about what they did last year with Jacoby Brissett and think,
Didn't they? What was their record last year?
well, they started off undefeated for like 6
6
weeks. Imagine if they did have Andrew Luck. It would be a scary team. That's just the piece that they were missing. And it sucks that the piece that, to fill that is Philip Rivers because he's only going to be there considerably for a year or two.
Yeah.
But they've still got 5 more quarterbacks behind that pretty much. Like, they have a quarterback depth chart from hell. Like, scary pretty much for other teams. If you had to give a score. And by the way, you do have to. I don't know why I always say if you had to.
I can go first. Probably gonna say the Bears are gonna stay undefeated. Nick Foles is gonna do something. I'm gonna say 28-17.
A little bit closer of a game.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be a competitive game as a whole. Because like you pointed out, Philip Rivers, he's a dog. He's not going to go down. He's probably going to be headstrong.
He's not
going to
go down without a fight.
Yeah. But, oh man, Nick Foles. I feel like the Bears offense now has so much more that can be added to their arsenal now that they have a quarterback that really has that accuracy now. Sure, he doesn't have as much mobility as Mitch did, but I don't think they ever really used Mitch's mobility in terms of specific plays.
Yeah,
like maybe on bootlegs, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 23-20 Bears. I think it's going to be close, competitive, hard fought.
All right. Next week, I think this is going to be another good game, but the Panthers obviously would have won this if they had CMC. Panthers-Cardinals. I have the Cardinals winning this just because of what I just said there. They don't have Christian McCaffrey on the Panthers.
Yep.
I think Teddy is doing pretty good so far with them.
They are. The Panthers are competitive. Right now, they're 9th in yards. Despite these last 2 games, they faced 2 top 10 defenses right now.
And they're about to face another top 10 defense and the Cardinals, in which case their pass rush is just mean.
Chandler Jones.
Yeah. And I think it was you again. We had this conversation before we even started this podcast in general, just of finally Chandler Jones is going to be in the right spot now.
Because that was the thing. The Cards were actually ranked 32nd, which is last, in total defense last year because they were playing Chandler Jones out of position for half the year.
Right.
Because they went and signed Terrell Suggs. So they had Terrell Suggs on one side and Chandler Jones on the other. In the middle, they had Hassan Reddick and what's his name? One they brought from Philadelphia.
Hicks.
Yeah, thank you. And in the specific defense that the Cardinals' defensive coordinator, his name is escaping, Vance Joseph, I believe that's his name.
I'll check.
Okay. I think that it's Vance Joseph. But anyway, in his scheme,
You're correct.
okay, Vance Joseph. In Vance Joseph's defensive scheme, one linebacker drops into coverage. One outside linebacker drops into coverage while the main one rushes the passer. Usually, specifically, it's the will backer that drops into coverage while the strong side backer, Sam, rushes the passer. They had Terrell Suggs playing that strong side backer role so he could rush the passer and not have to drop him into coverage, obviously, because he was, at that time, 37, 38. That's not going to be his strong suit, and it never really was.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Terrell Suggs at all. And so they had Chandler Jones, your best pass rusher and arguably a top 5 edge defender in the league, dropping into coverage. No, what are you doing?
Even Bill Belichick was smart enough to just be like, look, no. Because
Like
they
he-
did have Chandler Jones for a little bit.
He did an all right job at it because he's such an athletic freak. But and then finally, halfway through the year, they decided, okay, this isn't working. And they straight up cut Terrell Suggs.
Right.
So they moved Hassan Reddick to that will backer spot because he actually has the skill set and the athleticism to be able to both rush the passer and drop back into coverage. And they played Chandler Jones fully at that strong side backer spot so he could rush the passer full time.
Speaking of pretty much what you said, the athletic freak in
Yeah.
Chandler Jones, do you know who he's related to?
John Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
That's
man.
a great family.
That's a
genes right
scary
there.
family. Oh my
Because
goodness.
I think they have another brother who could have,
Could have
Played pro ball.
Yup.
and he just was like, why?
Is there a daughter in that family? Could you imagine
Dude. WNBA.
bringing home her boyfriend?
Ah.
Dude.
That'd be like
See
the,
all of them
That'd be like
Yeah,
the Reggie
straight up.
scene from Bad
from
Boys.
Bad Boys. What you want to do with my dog? Huh?
Nothing, Mr. Jones. Jumping into score predictions, though, for the game, I think Kyler is going to have
A bounce
a
back.
bounce
Yeah.
back just because he really needs it. I think confidence-wise in himself, he knows that he can do it, but he needs to prove it to himself.
Oh, his brother actually did play.
Really?
Arthur Lewis Jones.
What team? What position, too?
Wasn't he a defensive tackle or something like that?
Yeah, played defensive end.
That's tough.
He played with the Colts as well.
That's tough. Imagine
He won
him
a
and
Super
Chandler.
Bowl.
Really?
Dang,
Yeah.
good for him.
So he must have been playing with Peyton.
No, it was the Ravens one. He played with the Ravens as
Oh.
well.
Oh,
Ravens,
That's pretty
Colts,
cool.
and then the Redskins.
so they're all successful.
Yeah.
And they have
100%.
and they have a sister, like you said.
Oh.
Is she the greatest NBA or WNBA player to
I
ever
don't know.
live?
Who knows?
Or- she like a Olympic star or something? Because that would fit the family line.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be one of those games where the Cardinals start hot and then they start to let the Panthers come back into the game a little bit, and then their defense wakes up again and is like, no, stop that. You're not coming back. So I'm going to go ahead and say 31-21. And I got the Cards.
I think it's going to be close because, like you said, the Panthers and Teddy B, they're really competitive. I think it's due to maybe an increased receiving core down in Carolina because now that they have they signed Robbie Anderson over from the Jets, and then DJ Moore, he went off last season, and hopefully he's still keeping that form. Obviously, the loss of Christian McCaffrey, that's major for them.
But the replacement back
Yeah.
has been playing very
They can't
well.
replace the talent, but they can replace the role.
Because it's mainly a receiving role.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be close, competitive. I think it's going to be very close. I'm going to say 28-27 Cards.
28-27 Cards.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
is a close
So-
game.
Just to make sure that I understand how the victory goes here, what do you have? How is it going to end? 28-27, do you have them literally kicking like
I feel
like you have them scoring a touchdown and then they have to hit the PAT to win, pretty much?
Oh no, I have them Cards kicking 2 field goals. 21 points, 3 touchdowns,
21.
and then
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Dang, that's a very
that's
close
fair.
game. I was thinking like for the Cardinals, like 28 as well. But for the Panthers, like 17. Yeah.
So 28-17.
17, yeah.
Okay. 28-17. And you got the Cards?
Yes, coach.
Cardinals. Give me 1 second, because now that I think about it, I may have put a score in the wrong spot for you two. I may have done that on accident.
Are you gonna ask Q as well for the scores, or
Yeah, I'm going to have to get them
so on Monday before the game?
Yeah, so that way we all have them and everything
Cool,
is 100% predicted and stuff like that. I'm just looking back. I think I have them all right. Maybe it was the one right here that I messed up. Moving on to it though, we have the Giants versus Rams, which Rams I'm not even gonna waste time.
yeah, they're gonna dominate.
Rams are gonna win.
And bro,
Aaron
Aaron
Donald.
Donald's gonna be throwing
Everyone
offensive
around.
linemen around the field.
Everyone.
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go into the stands and he's gonna throw the fake cardboard cutouts around just because he feels like it too. Like he's gonna have a game. And if you think otherwise, why are you?
Yeah, no.
Who are you?
Aaron Donald is literally the embodiment of an unstoppable force. There's like he was thrown around against the Cowboys. He was thrown around all-pro guard Zach Martin like a child. It's insane.
I'm gonna go ahead. 31 to 10. To 10.
To 10. Rams?
Rams.
Sheesh. Should I start Cooper Kupp then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe you should start Robert Woods. That's seemingly
Woods?
yeah. That's
Do I
kind
have
of
him?
been
Yeah,
more
he's the
of
go-to guy. It
the
seems
favorite.
like.
For
And
the
Rams, yeah.
Rams.
He's more of the favorite for Jared Goff, and also like they run a lot of jet sweep or
Mhm.
just rushing plays with him in general. With him on the
Didn't
motion.
Cooper go off last week as well too though?
Yeah,
Yeah, he had a solid game.
he had a pretty good game. Jesus. I picked him up on my team.
Did you?
Yeah. You seen the trade that I offered to your roommate? I sent it to you.
Oh, Aaron Jones and Sammy for Julio and Zeke. Yeah.
And then after that, he still hasn't accepted or declined to the second one. I sent him Zeke and Julio for Aaron Jones. And it's like, dude, what do you mean? Like, seriously? Like, I literally put in the messages, how do you say no to that? How? Julio and Zeke for Aaron Jones. I mean, it's being as fair as I possibly can. That's all. I just, side topic. Back to the game, Giants Rams though. What do you guys got?
I'm gonna say, yeah, I feel like the Rams are gonna go off because the Giants' defense is just bad. You couldn't stop the 49ers led by Nick Mullins. But I'll stop beating around the bush. I'm gonna say 37-13 Rams.
Okay.
Ooh, that was good. I'm gonna put him right there. 34-16.
34-16. And Giants, obviously, right?
Yeah, Giants for sure. 100%.
Oh yeah, Daniel Jones.
Yeah. The guy who, I don't know. What was the pick thing?
Yeah, Saquon's gonna come out on his crutches and he's gonna run for 200 yards. Yeah,
200
straight up.
yards.
Just hobbling down the
Yeah,
field.
yeah.
God.
Put me in, coach. Next game after that, I think it's actually going to be interesting to see, just because one of the teams, it's literally make or break for them. It's Bills versus Raiders, and it's make or break for the Raiders. Like, this is the game that actually proves if they are a team that needs to be taken serious.
Are you
or
talking about
not.
the Raiders?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because they're
most
scrappy.
definitely.
Yeah, but after that loss against the Patriots, it kind of set the tone for them, showing that like your defense is pretty suspect. And Josh Jacobs is really the engine of that offense.
100%.
And then your only legit threat in that receiving core is Waller. You would have Ruggs too, but is he out? Is he coming back?
I will look it up real quick, but I'm pretty sure he is out.
Yeah, because to me, those are really your two main threats through the air on that offense, other than maybe the other rookie that they have out of.
The article I'm looking at right here in front of me says that Brian Edwards is out. Not sure 100% who that is.
Yeah, he was the guy that I was talking about.
Okay. And Henry Ruggs is a long shot. So more than likely, pretty much, not going to play.
If the Bills just double Waller, and I would watch game film from the Patriots and see what they did to completely erase, because they took him out of the game plan entirely.
Kind of like side by side the Saints and then Patriots and see
Yeah,
what the
I would do
differences
that
are.
and see like, okay, well, what did they do to stop Waller? Let's do that, because once you do that, who's Derek Carr thrown to?
Right. Because I'm not even sure outside of Henry Ruggs
Yeah, no,
who
because
they actually have.
they had Tyrell Williams, but he's on IR. Ruggs
Renfro?
is out. Old man Renfro.
Renfro's going to have a game.
Nah, not if I put Trey White on him. No, he ain't.
Yeah, no. And even then, I think that's a waste of Trey White's talent.
I feel like Josh Allen's going to continue his dominance.
Oh, I know what you do.
What?
Trey White would cover Gronk whenever they played the Patriots. So why can't he just cover Darren Waller? Especially if the wide receivers aren't going to be up to his par, put him on the guy that actually is going to get the ball. Maybe that's exactly how you stop him right there.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, my thing is, would you deploy him right over the face of the tight end, or would you have him back off? Because to me,
I'd
if
have
they're
him in
running
like
a run
nickel.
play,
Like a nickel.
oh, I got you. Okay. But yeah, I feel like Josh Allen's going to continue balling out. I'm going to say 28. Oh, I don't know. The Raiders are scrappy. I'm going to say 28-21 Bills.
Good score.
Okay. I already got mine wrote down. I was originally going to go with a shooter out, kind of. Like, not a shootout, but
In a
still
way.
high scoring. 35-28 was my original. I changed it to 31-17.
Mm.
And that's for the Bills.
I'll go ahead and say 34-27 Bills.
Just Josh Allen.
I think Josh Allen's just going to go off.
Josh
He's been
Allen.
going off.
He really has. And, like, I don't know if they played the Rams this year, but I really want them to.
The Bills.
Oh, wait. Didn't they just?
They
They just
already-
did.
yeah.
What am I talking about? Because that's when
They won.
Jalen Ramsey was like, yeah, he's actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Like a year ago, he was like, that man's trash. Get him off the field. Now he's like, okay,
Just didn't
he's
have
legit. Like,
Don't the Chiefs play the Bills this year?
yeah, that's a game that I'm really scared of.
Man.
Well, another game that you should be scared of is this next one, which is Pats versus Chiefs. Which I didn't know you were an NFL team.
Oh, wow. Damn. I'm honored.
Attaboy, Pat.
Yeah, if the Pats kind of stick to their strength, run the ball, chew clock, keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands,
And keep playing the defense they've
keep
been
playing defense, yeah. Basically, I would watch the film from the Ravens, be like, okay, what did they do? Don't do that. But if they do that, I could see the Patriots squeaking out a win. But you know me, biased towards Chiefs. I could actually this should be a really good game because these are two AFC powerhouses, and this could be a playoff matchup, arguably.
I already have mine for the game. 28-24 Chiefs.
I had it like that too. My mind 24.
I just
28.
I see Pat Mahomes being Pat Mahomes. You can't take him out of the game pretty much unless he's
Yeah.
off the field. Like, that's literally the only way you can take him out of the game. It really is.
Yeah,
Because the
Mhm.
most effortless flick of his wrist throws the ball 40 yards.
straight up. I'm going to say 30-24 Chiefs.
Okay. Ray, if you you have to give one. Not if you.
I agreed with you,
gotta cut
Coach.
myself. Oh, you agree with me? Okay.
Yeah, I said that was a great score.
My fault.
Prediction.
Chiefs. We got the Chiefs winning. So we have
Is that all the games?
we have two more.
Two more, yeah.
And well, one more pretty much.
Eagles?
We got
Did we say the Eagles?
Eagles
Eagles,
Niners is the
49ers,
game,
yeah.
and
Eagles 49ers. Oh.
I'm going to slap myself for saying this out loud, pretty much. But Nick Mullins is going to outplay Carson Wentz.
100%. That no doubt.
I don't want to say no doubt just because of all the slander that everybody's been giving Carson Wentz.
No doubt.
All it is bulletin board material for him, though. And
That's true,
And most of
yeah.
the time, that's all it takes for some players that have had a
You're right,
rough
though.
start is to get bulletin board material and to just prove every single person wrong.
Yo, no cap. The genie gave him 3 years, and that was it. That's it, bro.
Oh, man. That contract, though, man.
Oh, God.
God.
Like, hopefully you can pick
They
it
should
up.
have kept Nick Foles.
Yeah, they really should have.
Honestly, though.
There's a good chance that if they did, that maybe they went back to back.
If Alshon hadn't dropped that pass, because that was the thing, 4th down,
Yeah.
playoffs, yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But I didn't see the Eagles moving through us. And by us, I mean Saints. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, that ain't happening. And the
No
same thing,
disrespect to the Eagles, but
same thing this year. As a Saints fan, I find it hard to move through the Seahawks coming out of the playoffs this year. It's going to be interesting. Like, if we play the Packers, I think we have a good shot just because there's a few things we need to tighten up on for the playoffs, but it's going to be a rough one. Back to the game, though, for Eagles-Niners.
that's literally one of my bullet points on this. Carson Wentz equals rough.
That was my headline last week, though.
Yeah.
Eagles equals
49ers are astronomically banged up, but
Do they have
Who did
Kittle
they play
back
last
again?
week?
I think they do, actually. I think Kittle's back.
Kittle's back.
Yeah, they played the Giants last week. They're still missing
Okay, yeah.
an
Kittles.
enormous and
lot.
ungodly amount of players.
Who they're missing Raheem,
Monster.
Solomon Thomas, Nick
Bosa.
Bosa,
Yeah.
Sherman.
Sherman's out.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Wow.
Kittle himself says he will be back Sunday, and that was 48 minutes ago from NFL.com. So,
I mean, that's not the coaches, but I guess yeah, okay. I see you, Kittle.
if he says he's ready, I think they go ahead and give him the green light.
Yeah, I think
Just
I should.
because it's one of those situations of how do you feel? You've already been out for a couple weeks. How does your body feel? How do you feel moving around on it? It's like one of those.
Yeah, because if you lose this game, it's really kind of
Because like a doctor can only do so much of like obviously you diagnose it and you can tell like maybe that's not as good as like the person saying it is, but the coaches aren't going to know that. The coaches are just going to be taking his word for it pretty much. If I had to put a score down, in which God I gotta break that habit. I have to put a score down. So I will go ahead and say 24-10 Niners.
Jeez, you're giving them double digits? I'm just kidding.
That's they're literally a field goal into double digits.
I guess so, coach.
kickers matter.
Kickers matter.
For the brand.
Nah, I'll say probably 24-13.
That's so close to mine.
24-13. Eagles, of course.
Eagles.
Once they start playing, Meek Mill's
Yeah.
Dreams
all
and
they
Nightmares,
need.
it's all they need, bro.
Wins and losses come up in. Oh, sorry. It just shows how white I am. Sorry, guys. Patty.
I'm gonna say 24-17 Niners.
What's the
Nick
last
Mullins.
game we're missing?
Falcons Packers.
Monday Night Football.
Oh, it's Monday night for that?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
I think this is gonna be a shootout.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You don't think so?
The Falcons defense.
Atrocious.
Atrocious, yeah.
Who are they playing?
Yeah,
Aaron
Packers.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, shootout.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
shootout.
have Devontae back. I'm pretty sure.
It's shootout. Yeah.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The
It's
Packers
shootout.
defense is so much better than the Falcons.
Yeah, I know, but Matt Ryan's got
Yup. That's
Julio
what
possibly if he's back and Ridley to choose from.
Yup.
Has he ever thrown the ball to Julio?
I mean, yeah, Matt
And
Ryan.
then the week that
Honestly,
he,
man to
Julio's
man,
life
Matt
matter too,
Ryan.
bro.
Give the ball to Julio.
and week 2 when he
Give it to him,
did throw the
straight
ball
up.
to Julio on that
Give the ball to Julio.
seam route, what did Julio do as he was catching it into the end zone? Oh yeah, that's right, he dropped it.
Don't disrespect my man like that.
Yeah, dude. The slander, am I right? Dang, we gave
Julio
him the
Jones
facts and
slander.
everything. God,
I gave you the facts, Wyatt.
we gave him the slander.
Whatever.
There was something trending on Twitter earlier today saying that the Patriots were going to trade for Julio, and I was like, nah, no.
Yo, what?
It's kind
No.
of like that Russell Westbrook trade I talked about last week. That's not gonna
God.
happen.
Straight up, I
Not
was like,
gonna
no,
happen.
that's the stupidest thing I've ever
How,
read.
Easily
Sway?
the stupidest
How?
Just to be sure, were you kidding about saying the Eagles were gonna win?
Oh no, fuck no. Oh. Hell no.
Okay.
My bad, coach.
Sometimes I can't tell if you're being serious or joking. That's
Nah,
why
nah,
I
nah, nah.
ask. I will go ahead and say that the Packers are obviously going to win this game,
Yo.
35-17.
No shootouts for you, huh?
No shootouts.
I was thinking shootout,
Yeah, I'm
too.
thinking it's going to be like that, too.
I'm thinking like, what are you?
I
what
feel
were
like
you-
the Packers defense is what's going to shut them down. I don't see a shootout because
Don't
of
disrespect Matt Ryan, bro.
that. Matty Ice, Matty Choke, more like.
Okay, buddy.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
It's everyone, bro.
It's everyone chokes a 28-3 lead away. Yeah,
Dude,
that's right.
honestly,
no,
though,
I'm talking about the team as in everyone. It's not just Matt Ryan, bro.
if
Y'all-
you're
y'all
like
can't
the
see the
Falcons
side eye.
GM and they lose this, are you firing Dan Quinn?
That's
Ooh,
why I
that
was
is a great
saying that
question.
it's not totally out of this world if the Falcons fire Dan Quinn this Monday when I said that. I didn't think it was that crazy of an idea.
No, it's not.
Y'all treated me like I was a mental person, man. I swear.
Get him out of here, coach.
Yeah. 35-17 Packers for me.
35-17. I'll say 35-28. Packers.
Is that the same? I was gonna say is that the
Again,
same one?
37-28 Packers.
So we've all got the Packers.
Of course, coach.
Oh, yeah. Because like you said, they got a better defense than the Falcons.
Yeah.
Straight up. So they're going to get a stop or
Like
two.
the past games too with the Falcons, they've been scoring high.
Yeah.
Who did they play last week? They played
Oh, the Bears?
the Bears.
The
They
Bears.
dropped 20 something as
The
well.
Falcons, yeah.
Yeah, the
Because
Falcons.
that's when Nick Foles came in the second half. It
In
was
the
like
second
3
half,
touchdowns.
And then
Straight
they
up.
played who? The other league they blew. The
Cowboys?
Cowboys, and they
yeah.
almost dropped 40.
They didn't touch the onside kick.
They
God.
didn't. Yeah.
They just looked at it.
Yeah, they acted like that ball had Rona.
They're
like,
like-
I don't understand. Social distancing.
Social from the
Maybe that's all the
from,
kicker
from
did.
Dubs.
Maybe the
Social
kicker
distance from
he
Dubs.
put the ball down and went on the ball, so they didn't want to touch it. That's oh my.
Yeah, Dallas's
God.
kicker was like talking to the guys on the hands team. Hey, I got Rona. Don't touch that
Yeah,
ball.
I'm not feeling so good, man. Kind of short of breath right now. Oh man, that would be
Is that all the games, coach?
unreal. Yeah, that's all the games. And then on the list, for what I sent you guys, I pretty much just said update your lists, your top 10s if you needed to. I didn't really think I needed to do too much updating. Just between all we really had left for that week was Mahomes and
And he's up there now.
Lamar. And I actually moved Mahomes to number 2, and I moved Josh Allen above Lamar.
Great decision, coach.
So my top 5
Yeah.
is Lamar. My number 4 is Josh Allen. My number 3 is Aaron Rodgers. My number 2 is Pat Mahomes. And my number 1 is Russell Wilson. I just wanted to
Yeah, I'll probably tinker with mine a little bit.
re-update it just so that way we're keeping obviously watch on the games and everything, but just because that's like literally the only game that we didn't have before we made our lists. So
I gotta redo all mine completely because I based it off like
Yeah.
way different than you guys did. So sorry, coach.
no, you're good, bro.
Did you want to do my thing now?
Go ahead.
All right, so it's not similar towards the cut, start bench cut, but
Mhm.
I gave you 5 players, and you can only keep 3 of them.
Okay.
I did quarterback, I did running back, wide receivers, tight ends. I did defensive linemen,
Oh,
linebackers,
I'm
safeties.
sorry to cut in right now. The 76ers are eyeing Alvin Gentry as a potential assistant coach.
Alvin Gentry.
Pelicans
Pelicans.
head
Yeah, I was about
coach.
to say, yeah. Assistant
Hmm.
or head coach? His assistant or actual head coach? Because the Sixers need a head coach. Or
it doesn't necessarily say assistant coach. It just says to be on the coaching staff. I just automatically assumed since Alvin Gentry was a head coach, it would probably
it'd be assistant because Doc Rivers. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm like
Yeah.
blanking. All right, but yeah, so 5 players. You can only keep 3. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson.
Keeping Mahomes. I'm keeping. Let me see that.
Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm
Lamar
glad
Jackson.
Q ain't here.
Keeping Mahomes. Keeping Russ. I'm keeping Josh Allen.
Ooh! Wow! Wow! I did not expect that, Coach.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm keeping the first 3 you listed off.
That's what I'm
Mahomes,
saying.
Russ, and Rodgers.
Yup, that's
Don't
what-
get me wrong. Josh Allen, right now, he's playing elite. But, like,
right. Yeah.
Rodgers is proven
Right.
to be able to do that consistently.
Dang, that caught us off guard.
And I think what mainly it comes down to me is just seeing like the team that's around Josh Allen right now. Like his offensive line, it's keeping him protected, but it's not the best in the league. So if he actually has time to make decisions and keep himself comfortable in the pocket, plus he gets even better after this year. I can only just see his upside pretty much is all I'm saying.
Imagine that contract.
All right. Running backs.
Yeah, it's going to be a big contract for sure.
King Henry, Zeke, Aaron Jones, Alvin,
We
and
can only keep
CMC.
3.
And you can only keep 3.
Alvin Jones.
So let me run it back. Zeke,
Alvin Jones.
Henry, Jones, Kamar, and Christian McCaffrey.
I'm going to keep Kamara.
Okay.
I'm going to keep Jones.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep McCaffrey.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm going to do the exact same because those 3 are the most versatile in terms of receiving, rushing.
And each one of them, especially if McCaffrey wasn't hurt, all 3 of them could have the case for best running back in the league.
Ooh, I like that. Mm-hmm. All right, wide receivers. Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans.
Michael Thomas. You did say DeAndre, right?
Yes, sir.
So Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, and Tyreek Hill.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry, Julio. I got to say the
yeah,
same
that's
thing.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have that physicality all you want with Julio, right?
Yeah.
Everyone and their mom knows that Tyreek Hill is fast. So when he puts his foot in the ground and he looks like he's about to run that streak down the field, you're going to
Take off.
turn your hips and you're going to run with him. And then when all of a sudden he puts his feet in the ground and stops almost as fast as he accelerated, you're screwed. You can't defend
Yeah.
that. I don't care how you could be 6'8", 270 pounds of
Put
pure
LeBron on
muscle.
Tyreek.
Like, I still think that's unfair to LeBron.
Yo!
Just because Tyreek's that fast, he's that agile, that his fast twitch
Quick.
muscles make him able to cut on a dime, literally.
Quick with it. All right, tight ends. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, Zach Ertz, and Darren Waller.
Kelsey, Kittle. Name the other ones real quick.
Zach Ertz, Mark Andrews, and Darren Waller.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell you who I'm debating between.
Uh-huh.
Mark Andrews and Zach Ertz.
Ertz, yeah.
And I think the issue of me picking Andrews is this last game that he had. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up Ertz.
Yeah, that's literally
He's
what I was
proven.
going to say.
He's proven.
Because, like, Kelsey and Kittle are obviously going to be
Yeah.
picks. Like, I mean, they're the top 2 tight ends right now. But Ertz has just been so consistent, being that go-to guy for whoever the Eagles quarterback was and will be going on. I don't think it's going to be Wentz, just saying.
Hurts.
Hurts to Ertz? Yo, I like that, though. Put that on a shirt,
Hurts to
Philadelphia.
Ertz.
Ooh.
That's
Got
almost-
Doug Peterson. You got to start him now.
Tagline that.
Bench that man Wentz.
That's
Start
almost
him
like
now.
Russell Wilson throwing to Luke Wilson with a Russell ball.
Wilson to Wilson.
Or with a Wilson ball. Wilson to Wilson
Alright.
with a Wilson.
I did D-line,
Okay. Like interior or like
like
edge
defensive
guys?
end and defensive tackle.
Oh, okay.
I think most of them is DN for the most part. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I have Chris Jones, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and Aaron Donald.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief. I kind of zoned out.
All right, I'm going to go again. Ready?
I was trying to pull up with the other segment too.
Chris
that's why.
Jones, both Bosa brothers, Joey and Nick, Myles Garrett, and Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, Nick Bosa.
I'm gonna go Chris Jones, Aaron Donald, but I'm gonna go Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett.
Throwing them helmets around.
I like it. All right.
Oh boy, yeah.
Linebackers.
That's the one right there.
TJ Watt, Bobby Wagner. Am I saying this right? Levant David?
Levante.
Levante
Yeah.
David, Chandler Jones, and Khalil Mack.
That's hard though, because those are off ball and pass rushers.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Keep 3, guys. Only 3.
That's exactly why I'm letting him go first, because I'm just having a tough time picking 3.
I mean, in terms of like off the ball linebackers, Bobby Wagner is second to none. Kuechly was arguably the other one, possibly above him, but now that he's gone, so sorry to see you leave the game, sir. I'm gonna go Bobby Wagner. I really like TJ Watt, honestly. I feel like he's gonna be a franchise pass
That is
rusher in
facts.
Pittsburgh and gonna be the next Watt of the NFL once JJ leaves.
Why not Derek?
Oh, man's a fullback. He ain't gonna see the field. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Bobby Wagner, TJ Watt. Levante David's highly underrated, but I'm gonna go with Chandler Jones. Honestly, I feel like he has better athletic traits. No disrespect at all to Khalil Mack. Dude is a monster. Please do not hurt me, Mr. Mack. But I'm gonna say Bobby Wagner, TJ
Khalil
Watt,
Mack,
Chandler
bro.
Jones.
That's Zion right there. Did you see him in like an NBA jersey?
Yeah.
He was built like Zion,
Yeah.
dog. Holy crap.
Just so I have the list again, can you read it for me?
Khalil Mack,
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Jones,
Mm-hmm.
Levant David, Bobby Wagner, and TJ Watt.
I'm gonna go Khalil. Bobby obviously makes the list, and TJ.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, I did safeties.
Ooh,
Okay.
Ooh, I like this.
Marcus Williams, Jamal Adams, Tyrann Mathieu. Am I pronouncing his last name is Fitzpatrick as well?
Oh, Minka.
Minka, there we go. Minka Fitzpatrick, and then Justin Simmons.
So the first 3 you named, that's like, yeah,
That's it.
Marcus Williams, Tyrann
Jamal
Mathieu,
Adams.
and Jamal Adams. Yeah,
Those
like,
3.
That's it. They're the best 3 safeties in the league between Jamal and Tyrann.
Ooh.
Did you list off all 5?
Yeah.
You said
Jamal,
Tyrann, Marcus Williams, Fitzpatrick.
and Justin Simmons.
Oh, Justin. Nah, you ain't got to say Justin Simmons.
I didn't
He's
know.
doing good though. He's
He
still having an
is,
All-Pro
honestly,
year.
yeah.
You know?
But in
Man.
terms of versatility, like in the defense, Tyrann Mathieu's second to none.
Right.
Like you can play that man wherever you want. So obviously he's making the list. Jamal is also a versatile chess piece. The NFL is kind of cool because it's evolving more into the NBA where it's like positionless defense. It's like, okay, what role can you fill? Like, I don't care if you're a linebacker. Can you blitz? Okay, well, I'm going to put you on the line and I'm going to have you rush the passer. Can you cover? I don't care if you're fucking defensive tackle. I'm going to have you covered in the slot, like whatever. And Jamal fills that, so I'm also going to have Jamal. Oh, that's so tough between Marcus Williams and Minka.
I think that's fair though, because both of them
is,
have
it
had
is.
such great years in the years that they have played.
because I feel like Marcus Williams got a lot of slander because of the whole Stephon Diggs touchdown thing, which
Man.
is
Stop bringing it
ridiculous.
up.
it was
I watched
ridiculous
that game
'cause-
with
Yeah,
him.
we were on FaceTime.
FaceTime, and his face reaction was just amazing. I was like, oh, shit.
Literally, anytime somebody thinks of that,
Just
or
remember the
mentions it,
call.
all I remember is seeing my own face in the corner.
Or the camera.
Just
That's funny.
depressed.
Sorry, coach.
I'm gonna go with Minka. This is no disrespect intended at all to Marcus Williams because he's a fantastic player. He's really young and up and coming because, like Marcus said, picking Marcus, I like it. Okay.
That's why I like him.
And then lastly, cornerback. Stephon Gilmore.
Okay.
Tre'Davious White. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
Tre'Davious?
Trey White.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jalen Ramsey. Marshawn Lattimore. And Patrick Peterson.
I already
That's
got my
tough.
boy Marshawn. Tre'Davious White. And the only reason I say Marshawn, which in case it's not the only reason, he's locked down Mike Evans multiple games where Mike Evans has not had a catch at all.
Clamps? He put the clamps down?
Multiple
He did.
times.
Yeah, he really did.
I think he's done it twice in total, possibly 3 times.
Isn't he number 23?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's cold.
He extremely cold. Tre'Davious White is also
Oh yeah.
on that list of cold. Could you list them one more time for me, please?
Like you said, Marshawn, Tre'Davious White, Stephon Gilmore, Jalen Ramsey, and Patrick Peterson.
Ooh,
That's tough.
I'm sorry, Pat Pete. You're not even in the convo right
Yeah,
now.
no.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
because of the current seasons, like
Mhm.
you always say, it's what have you done for us right
Yeah,
now?
Straight up.
And what has Jalen Ramsey really done for us? Not as much as Stephon Gilmore in the last few years. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Stephon.
It's tough to judge because cornerback, people obviously look at interceptions. It's like, oh, interceptions are everything. When it's like, no, it's not. It's targets, really, and passes, defense. And then not even really targets because it's like, well, if you're doing your job, you're not even going to get targeted. But, yeah, I'm going to say Marshawn Lattimore because man coverage, yeah. Trey White, also. Those are my main 2. Third, that's so tough. Yeah, Gilmore won a Defensive Player of the Year, so I got to go with him. Yeah.
That's exactly I originally was gonna say it's really tough to choose between Jalen and Stephon,
Yeah.
but as soon as I thought about it, I was like, it's really not.
And I did kickers too.
Oh, cool.
oh,
Hell
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding, bro.
Kareem Hunt.
Only one. Yeah, there's only one that matters.
Will Lutz, Harrison Butker,
Young
and
Ho.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
No, I got Kareem Hunt, Butker,
Oh my
and
God.
who else?
Oh my god.
And then for the memes, bro, the dude from Atlanta, what's his name?
Young Hoku.
Young
Young
Hoku. The GOAT.
Nah. I got Rodrigo.
If you
Blankenship on
did
that list.
kickers, I'd probably say, Harrison,
Will Lutz.
Justin, Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker, Lutz, and Butker.
Butker,
are my
yeah.
3.
They're the top 3.
Top.
I would definitely include Rodrigo Blankenship though, just because he
goggles.
wears the goggles.
Goggles.
So that's the last one you had.
Yeah, that was the last one, coach.
Okay. Really, I don't know if this is gonna be too a consistent segment, but I think it's pretty interesting just because I've shared this page with Pat on Instagram, and all I'm gonna call the segment is Instagram finds because that's really what they are.
Yeah.
I do that too, but with Twitter,
Right.
sports stuff. So social media finds.
Yeah, pretty much. But the page in general though that I shared with Pat was called What the Fuck Stats.
Mm-hmm.
W2F Stats, and they have some really good ones. That's 100%. So I'm just gonna go through a few that I think are really good. The first one being the Jets haven't had a lead at all once this season,
Dude, fire that man, Adam Gase, straight up.
but for some reason though they're still favorites to win, beating the Broncos tonight.
Wow,
you're kidding me.
They are actually
They're the favorites.
they're 1.5
Wow.
point favorites.
That's tough.
Why though?
Man.
I don't know. And it's really weird because when you question Vegas betting a lot, they're 100% of the time almost they're right.
Oh, they're playing 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a leak.
And then I'll just have a few more just so that way we can get to dinner here soon. If Russell Wilson threw 45 straight interceptions, he'd still have a higher
I
QB
saw
rating
that.
than
Oh
Carson
my
Wentz.
God, that is garbage, dude.
Yo, Doug Peterson, put Hurts in.
Man.
It's time.
Hurts to
Hurts to
Ertz.
Ertz.
Come
Hurts
on.
to Hurts. I especially since you say that, I want it to happen now.
Yo, make
Straight
that the
up,
title
bro.
of this right here, bro.
Imagine his first NFL touchdown. Fade in the end zone to Zach Ertz. And you can hear the announcer go, Hurts to Ertz.
The new connection in
Somebody's
Philadelphia.
Oh, dude.
He
next
played
one.
last week, right? Like,
Yeah, he
one or
played
two
a
yeah,
couple
snaps.
plays.
on like
yeah.
decoy plays, yeah.
He rushed for. He got a first down, I think, on one of them, on like the very first one.
You got drafted what, second round or
Second,
think.
yeah, second
It was either
round.
second or third, I think. Next one that I have is Eric Fisher is the first number 1 overall
Saw
pick
that.
to have a
Yeah.
touchdown reception since 2006.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because that's the thing. Well, I mean, think about it. Nobody's picking a wide receiver number 1. Nobody's picking a tight end number
Right.
1.
wow.
Because the
Who
last
was
person
2006?
Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was a running back.
I thought he
Yo,
was.
I
want
wanna
to
know,
I
like,
don't know.
It's-
I know he was
has
drafted
it
by
been
the
always quarterback?
Jets.
What'd you say, Jim?
Like who's always been number 1 since then? Has it been like a lot of like what quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks,
Yeah.
defensive
Defense
ends,
ends, yeah.
tackles occasionally.
That is crazy, man.
Tackles.
Eric
occasionally.
Fisher.
Big
Y'all,
fish.
Imagine if y'all drafted Luke Jokel.
Don't.
No,
don't-
Luke
don't-
Jokel.
I won't get into it.
Because even if you went offensive tackle, that's like literally the other best one, and he's still not even in the league though.
Yeah.
Luke Joe.
I hate on you, Fish, but you know what? I'm proud.
I'm only gonna pick a few other ones, and one of the ones that I really liked, that I for some reason can't find. There we go. Josh Allen's career in the red zone: 42 touchdowns, 1 turnover,
That's cold.
That's wild.
guaranteed score. Guaranteed.
Guarantee. He's got a.
Who was
That's
picked
a-
over Allen at QB? Was it Baker and Darnold?
Yeah, I think so.
I want to know I want to know their correspondence.
Yo, that man's
stats
got
for
a
that.
42 KD, Mark.
42, yeah, 42 and 1.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
I think the one that we all know. In the month of September, Mahomes is 10-0 with 32 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in his NFL career. The month of September is just one to remember.
Do you remember?
The
21st night
of
of
September. The funny thing about that's my brother's birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Funny.
Nice.
And I don't even think he
Bumps to it
appreciates
like the
appreciates
song.
that. Yeah.
I'd appreciate much more, man. Come on now.
I'm just gonna do 2 more. The one that I thought was really interesting was for the 3rd straight week, Frank Gore is playing against his former team.
Dang.
That's wild.
That is
oh,
very-
it'd be Colts, 49ers, and
Bills, 49ers,
Bills,
and Colts.
yeah. Dang.
It's pretty cool, you know.
that actually is. Yeah.
Just shows not only like how much he's been around the league, but
Yeah,
how
his
long
longevity.
he's been in it. Yeah.
What is it? Yeah, man. That man's longevity is just to the roof.
And I think this one's cool just because it further proves how it's not fair to say because Julio's been out, but it further proves that Julio's not the best receiver on his team right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Wait until he gets back.
That's why I added the clarification right now. Despite not being the number 1 receiver on his team, Calvin Ridley leads the NFL in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns.
Did you see the awards they gave out for like Player of the Month and stuff?
I missed that.
I think Josh Allen was AFC Player of the Month.
Yeah.
Offensive, and then NFC offensive was Russ.
Good.
TJ for defensive,
Yeah.
and then NFC was David. Levante David. And then for special teams, the Tennessee's kicker.
Gostowski.
Gostowski, yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't pronounce. And then Jack Fox from
Yeah.
Lions.
Shout out to Gostowski. He had 6 field goals against the Vikings. Fucking like 35 fantasy points for a kicker. Wild.
Good on the league, though, for showing respect to some of the players because I think if Josh Allen would have had this season last year, too, he wouldn't have gotten as much respect from the league.
Yeah, he would probably have been overshadowed by Lamar.
Right.
And other players in the AFC respectively. Mahomes probably, but Mahomes was out with injury for a little bit last season, so.
All right, well, this definitely has been a productive show. That's 100%.
Oh yeah, always is.
Yeah. I don't know. So, we're just going to have to restart that for a second. Because we're still getting the logistics down here, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
we're
we still
learning.
gotta
We're
learn
learning.
everything.
We're
There's-
rookies, you know.
This is our second show, and considerably for
Mhm.
us to be, I don't know, as quick learning as we are with everything, it's definitely something that I'm proud of us for, and it's definitely something that I think we're gonna be great at here after a few weeks. Like we'll get everything
into a
handled,
groove,
get
yeah.
it down, get in the groove. But I appreciate you for listening, whoever you are. We'd like
for you.
Yeah, stay safe.
We'd like you to stay safe, keep your hands washed, get some hand sanitizer, wear your mask wherever you need to, you know. But thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which hopefully that's what you're listening to this on. We also have some social media that we'd like you to follow. I don't know if you guys want to give out your personal ones maybe, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the shows, which are the Sports Cache, literally just the name, on Twitter and Instagram. You guys have anything else to say?
No, sir.
Oh yeah, follow me on SoundCloud. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Patty G. Nah. But we'll see you guys next time when the cache is full.